What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Cheerio back in another video, back again on another reaction, baby. Today we got Tales of Toronto, the story of King Mo. Let's get into it. Let's do it, man.
The brazen Friday night shooting at this Jane and Wilsner parking lot in West Toronto has turned deadly. Police confirmed 20-year-old Mohammed So died of his injuries in hospital Saturday night. 4 others were injured. So appears to have gone by the name King Mo.
King Mo, I ain't never heard of him. Yeah, I'm happy as hell and I'm sitting here about to react. Finna turn him. Dang, bro, y'all tripping.
Originally of Guinean background, Mohammed So was born in New York on February 10, 1999. The So family immigrated to Canada in 2000, first settling in Montreal and then Toronto in 2006, where they became active in the city's Guinean community.
For the real natives out in this genre, what's one of the best? Montreal or good old Toronto, baby? Let me know in the comment sections right now, man. We can't wait. Let me know.
With no siblings to lean on, Mohammed felt a responsibility to take care of his parents and give back. He would always say, "I'm an only child, and I have to do what's best for my parents."
I love that.
In school, not only was he a student athlete, but Mohammed was known as someone who looked out for others. He took care of kids.
Bro,
he
this better not be the
knew
nigga that
and gave
died.
them money to buy freezies. One friend recalled, "Mo made sure I was going to school," said another friend who grew up with him, but did not want to be named. "Mo wanted what was best for me. He was there to make sure I made the right decision. He was more like a mentor and..."
You gotta love people like that, because nowadays the world is really self-centered. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people is for self. You feel me? You really don't meet a lot of people that's like willing to help you, or you know what I'm saying, or like instantly like care for you or ready to take the shirt off their back. You know what I'm saying? You might get some people that'll do it, but at the same time it's like it's shit coming behind it. You feel me? You don't really get to meet a lot of people that's real life 100% genuine or 90% genuine towards you. You know what I'm saying? Or even 50. You know, meet you halfway. You know what I'm saying? I hate, if this is the nigga that got killed, bro, I'm gonna be so blue, because I hate when people like this die, because it don't make sense to me, bro. Like,
the brother, although his former
good people like
classmates
that
had
shouldn't go out
nothing
that
but great things to
quick,
say
bro.
about him, Mo was silently going through his own struggles. During middle school, he got involved with the wrong crowd. They tried to frame him for stealing a t-shirt at a Walmart by putting it into his backpack. Mohammed took the blame to avoid angering them.
It's not that
Security
serious,
footage
Walmart.
showed he didn't steal the shirt, but he ended up having to report to police and attend a few days of counseling as a result. The incident didn't break Mo's spirit as he went on to graduate from Runnymede Collegiate Institute in 2017. He was unsure of which career path to pursue, so he began an international relations program at York University, but didn't like it and left, saying he needed more time to figure out his future. He worked at Pearson International Airport for a bit,
damn,
but
this
ultimately
bitch got some fat ass cheeks, Jay. Watch, this the lady that's hugging and she gonna lean up like this. She gonna hit him with one of these. She go like this. I'm like, damn. That shit fat. Oh God.
time to figure out his future. He worked at Pearson International Airport for a bit, but ultimately decided to pursue a career in music. He formed his own label, called Came From Nothing, and began rapping under the name King Mo.
Alright, look. I know this finna sound effed up how I put it, but you know what I'm saying? So be it. I ain't got no other way to say it. This right here, what they just said about him, make me feel a little bit better about my situations. It make me knowing like everybody go through that. You know what I'm saying? Cause like sometimes when you look from the outside looking in, you know what I'm saying? It seems like people be having like they shit going. I be questioning myself a lot. I be like, damn, how is these niggas doing this? You know what I'm saying? But the whole time everybody got a struggle. You feel me? Even though they still got what they got, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got it's a struggle to everything. You feel me? Nothing is cookies and cream. Just, you know what I'm saying? But like, that made me feel good, you know what I'm saying? Just off the strength, like, I don't know what I want to do in my life yet, you know what I'm saying? So I still got to play around and jump. So, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I'd be like, damn, you 22 now, and you still ain't got a career, you know what I'm saying? But then I'd be like, fuck it, you'll find something. But then some days I wake up and be on some other shit. So like, it's just whenever you catch me. But it's crazy
the
how he
local
went.
heavily reps 7 block, which sits on the corner of Jane and Woolner.
I would've thought he
Living
would've
just a
got
few minutes
successful.
away on Jane and St. Clair Avenue West, Mo often found himself lingering in the once troubled neighborhood.
Results in the gun lifestyle is incarceration or death. I've been a man that I've been shot 3 times. I put in work.
Tell him, OG.
I've been around people that put in work. And some of my people that they're not even here today because work got put in on them. I reaped what I sowed. I idolized the gun life. I lived the gun life. I get locked up. My son's growing up in the neighborhood. People are telling him stories of what his father did this and his father did that. So my son knew Wagga as his father. My son walked in my footsteps that I left. And because he walked in those footsteps, at 19, my son lost his life.
Damn.
Got shot 17 times in a hotel room.
See, bro, people don't be thinking that either. Like, bro, yeah, you shining and you doing your thing in the streets, bro, but you gotta know that you is on the list too. You're a target, baby. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter how good you is at whatever you do. Now, you could be the best marksman in this bit, the best, you know what I'm saying, thief, pickpocketer, the best goddamn whatever you call yourself. Somebody got to get taken out. Somebody got to lose. It's a game, bro. You feel me? And sadly, you're in it. And it's not no game. It's a real game. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. You feel me?
When the topic of gangs
This is
in
random, but I
Toronto
wish
is
somebody would
discussed,
slap Adam
the crews
22.
often brought up are the Driftwood Crips, Galloway Boys, or even the Jamestown Crips.
I heard
But
about the
within
Galloway.
these towers that sit on the corner of Jane and Woolner, homed one of the most violent street gangs in the city that only a few have heard of. The main crew inhabiting the area were the Southside Gators, as well as their subset, the Junior Gators. The gang was founded in the early 1990s by predominantly West Indian immigrants. Members would commonly sport some article of green clothing or standard green army fatigues to show affiliation with the crew. Although most members are of West Indian or African descent, members of notorious transnational Hispanic
West
gangs,
Indian and West
such
African.
as the Latin Kings and MS-13, have been known to frequent the Woolner apartments, suggesting an affiliation. The Gators' aggression towards both the Bloods and the Crips in the west end of the city was evident from conception, with members violently confronting active gang members from both factions within their own neighborhood and later displacing a local Crip set from Martha Eaton Way. What began as a form of protection
boy got
against
an
roaming neighborhood Blood and Crip gangs quickly turned into the aggressors in most conflicts, and thus, the Gators gained a reputation as being extremely violent and confrontational.
They're a gang, duh.
The first day of summer starts off with a
Police
series
crackdown
of
on
raids
5
across
Point
the
General
GTA
gang.
and in the city's West End. Police announcing this morning they've taken down a large portion of a street gang with international ties. 70 people were arrested after an early morning blitz that involved about 800
Damn, nigga, 70 people in the morning, bro.
Can
I get the booger out my eyes?
Of the 5 Point Generals, a gang that is said to operate
Police be
right
thirsty
here
as hell.
at Weston and Lawrence.
In
Let a nigga wake
2008,
up
the
and
Gators were
get a chance
involved
to
in a
run.
deadly turf war with several crews along the west end of the city, including the Trethway Gangsta Killers, Pelham Park Bloods, and the Complex Gangsters. But their most infamous feud would be with the notorious
That boy had that loose ass. Oh my god.
several crews along the west end of the city, including the Trethway Gangsta Killers, Pelham Park Bloods, and the Complex Gangsters.
People don't really
But
rock
their
the
most
plaid no
infamous
more.
feud would be with the notorious 5 Point Generals. It is reported the rivalry was responsible for 8 homicides that year alone, and those are just the ones confirmed. With the two factions being homed within 10 minutes of one another, the violence would come as no surprise to investigators.
That's it?
The murder started in fall of 2008
go
when
walk to them
West Crip
niggas.
member Stephen Barton, aka Frost, was shot near York Square.
But I
Less than
mean, like, if you really do your homework and research on that shit, a lot of the people that, you know what I'm saying, beef, you can go to each city. A lot of them be close as hell to each other. It's either like the next block over, they can walk, you know what I'm saying, to them. You know what I'm saying? Don't be on no far shit. Who beefs with somebody far? You feel me? You can't. I mean, you can, but like, you know what I'm saying?
24 hours later, a drive-by would take place on Highway 401, which ended with a body being dumped from one of the moving vehicles. The slayings drew some police attention
Yeah,
as
they
they
threw somebody
cited
out
the
the car.
two incidents were most likely related, but things calmed down and the police chief thought that was that. But it wouldn't be
Gee,
until the
y'all gotta
start of the
stay
new
tuned.
year when bodies would really start dropping. It started in January when Kevin Boateng,
Boateng.
aka Casa, a suspected gator,
Casa.
was stabbed outside an old Weston Road home. Jamel Grant, who police believe
Like
was a
T. Grizzly
5
before
Point
the
General
time.
member, was shot and killed at a Weston Road bar the next month. After that, Daniel De Silva,
white
aka
dude?
Dizzle, a 22-year-old Portuguese man who police say had gotten into drug dealing.
Gee, I ain't
was
never
dropped-
seen no Portuguese nigga with y'all. Okay. That's why I like watching these little documentaries, because we get open to new stuff, we learn new stuff. But I was finna say stay tuned, because we finna react to this the Real Toronto video. You know what I'm saying? That mug about an hour though. So I don't know how I'm finna react. I don't know if I'm finna do the whole video, or do I, you know what I'm saying, do like a part 1, 2, 3, or do a part 1, 2. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how I'm gonna do this yet, but it's gonna get done.
Robbed and shot inside his luxury BMW SUV. A 5 Point General was arrested for his murder. Then there was Danny Lewis, aka Goon,
He
who
looked
was
young as
shot
hell.
and killed off Keel Street. He was Frost's best friend. The gun that killed him was dropped in a dumpster at a youth center where he'd sought help writing a resume earlier in the year. A day later, Omar Waite, a gator, was gunned down
it's the
nearby.
same summer?
10 days after that,
How my
Adrian
niggas
Johnston, a 14-year-old Gator associate, was shot in a field near Woolner Avenue, still wearing his school uniform. The casualties
that
caught
big
the eye
ass
of Toronto's
jacket.
chief of police at the time, Bill Blair, who made Weston the new front in his force's war on gangs. The spike was unprecedented. What the chief
Gee, why do mamas do that, bro? They send you, like when they dress you up, they don't never tailor your suit. I've never seen one little kid in this world that I've been in since the full 22 years. I ain't never seen a kid with a suit that fit them. It's always big. It's either the jacket too big, the collar too loose, the pants too fat. It's always something. And with them, you have to have a tailored suit, bro. Like, you can't have no big ass. You can't, bro. It don't look good like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't get away with wearing a big suit, bro. You don't look good in big suits. Unless you're a big fat dude. But like, other than that,
called unheard of.
It's
The
not
deaths
happening.
made up 1/3 of Toronto's total,
The deaths
and
made up
twice the
1/3
number
of
of
Toronto's
nearby
total, twice
Jane
the
and
number of
Finch,
nearby Jane.
which often
Oh.
earned the distinction of being the city's violent crime capital. Fast forward to
What year is this?
2011. Raids were
2010?
executed and trial was on its way. A judge sentenced one member to 13 years in prison after police seized from his Egg West apartment 9 weapons, crack cocaine, 2 pit bull dogs, and believe it or not, a 4-foot alligator, which
What?
police said was the club mascot. Many of those arrested during the raids received similar
That's
sentences,
wrong.
while a handful were deported. Since the mass arrests of the Jane and Woolner OGs, youngsters from the block have adopted group names they've heard of, keeping the gang's legacy alive. But with little organization or formality, internal feuds have sparked, causing
they
many
arrest a
of the
nigga for
crews to
13
split.
years for some
The
stuff he
drug
had
and
at
gang
his
activity
crib?
within Jane and Woolner slowly
Yeah.
dissipated since 2008, when the violence was at its peak. But one horrific night in the summer of 2020, more than a decade later, would leave many questioning if a long-standing gang rivalry was reigniting.
I'm paying bills here, G. I can keep whatever I want in my
You're the guy
crib.
with the gun.
Now when I come
Person who can do
outside,
anything
that's
to protect
different.
the ones you
But
love.
I'm at the crib, G. Don't
Did
do
you know
that.
You could go to jail for
That's
simply
how I
putting
feel
a
about
knife.
that. Fact.
Returning now to the breaking news we're following this hour. 3 people have been injured in a shooting near Jane and St. Clair. For more on this, let's bring in CP24's Beatrice Staceman, who has just arrived there at the scene. Beatrice, police were telling us this is a large crime scene they're investigating.
It is, Courtney, this parking lot area of this.
What type of,
mall has
police
been
cars
shut
y'all,
down by
police drive?
You can see one officer
Type of cars
right
y'all
now
police drive?
shining his flashlight through the parking lot. He's looking for shell casings, any evidence related to this triple shooting that happened
Nigga ain't
here.
looking for shit.
It was just after 10.
That lazy ass look. That's some shit that you just
Friday,
trying to look good for the
July 10th,
camera.
2020.
Same thing I
Toronto
would've been
police were called to a plaza at 251 Woolner Avenue
Police
at
say 2 suspects
8:17
fired from a
p.m.
gray or silver
Police say a
sedan.
dark-colored SUV approached the parking lot, and at least one person started indiscriminately shooting at people who were gathered there. Surveillance footage
Let me
obtained
see.
by CTV News Toronto showed multiple people, including a child, ducking behind vehicles to avoid being hit. In total, 5 people were injured. 3 were taken to a hospital by paramedics, and 2 others made their own way to hospital to seek medical treatment. King Mo was one of the many people congregating in the plaza parking lot. The night of the shooting, he told his parents he would be playing basketball with some friends as he had been doing every Friday during the pandemic. Mo's mother said he would normally drive to the court, but that Friday evening, he didn't. Around 11:45 p.m. that same night, King Mo's friends knocked on his parents' door, distraught, and informed them he'd been shot and taken to the hospital. By the time his parents arrived to the hospital, Mo had succumbed to his injuries. He was the city's 36th murder victim of 2020. The 37th would be Malvern-based rapper Bleach, who was shot at STC that same night.
Y'all was getting
King
like
Mo's
that?
case received immediate attention, but for the wrong reasons. His near-decade-old mugshot from when he was
So how was y'all
wanted-
reacting to it? Like at this time period, how was like Toronto reacting to this? Like, was y'all going crazy? Was y'all like the city scared? You feel me? Was everybody on P's and Q's? Like, how was the city? Like, I needed some insight. You feel me?
Fully accused of shoplifting was used as the identification image for his news story.
At 3 a.m., they asked for photo to
That old ass mugshot.
put on the news.
The grief-stricken mother of 21-year-old Sidi Mohammed Sow is still in disbelief that 2 police officers showed up at her door at 3 Sunday morning, just 9 hours after her son died in hospital.
They
That's
said
crazy.
it's very important that we give them a pictures they're gonna put in the news. Otherwise, they might put their mug shot.
But I mean, that's the
which
game
we
you was
won't like.
playing,
And
though.
I just said, like,
Real
right
talk.
now is not a good time. You see my husband, he gonna drop dead. He already on the floor. Can you just please leave?
The family had
I
many
wanna
photos
talk
of
to
their
them.
son, but says the time was inappropriate. And while
That's
the
what they don't
officers
be
left their business
understanding,
cards, the family did not hear back from anyone the next day.
Fucking
Local news
crazy.
stations were hit with intense backlash, forcing them to change the image. Fortunately for Mo's family, they received brighter news a month later, on Friday, August 21st, when members of the Emergency Task Force, 12 division officers and homicide investigators arrested and charged Malik Francis Taylor with first-degree murder.
Honestly, do they kill them?
Run on your block like broad day. Ooh, you niggas never seen it. Cup of demons.
Malik
Pop
Francis
Smoke
Taylor,
of Toronto,
better
boy.
known by his rap name MK So Alive, ranged from the notorious Pelham Park Gardens, which housed the first blood set in Toronto. With Pelham situated just 10 minutes away from the Southside Gators, it would be no
So he caught
surprise to
him
hear the
hooping?
two factions had their fair share of feuds. The Pelham Park Bloods was a small yet powerful gang that was first known as the Young Thugs. They were formed in
The
the
Young
early
Thugs.
90s and consisted mainly of young Caribbean and African Canadian youths. By the early 2000s, most of the members had died, while some had been incarcerated or deported. The last remaining consists of hardcore criminals who have been known to recruit members as young as 8 years old, who are then used in peddling drugs in the
runners and all
suburbs,
that.
schools, and even rural areas of Toronto. MK, who throughout his near-decade-long rap career heavily repped the Pelham Park
still
label,
rap?
even donning red
I'm talking about him, he
bandanas
still
in a
rap.
few of his
Nigga in
videos.
jail,
Although
rap
his
tweet.
bars paint himself as a hardened trapper, he has no...
Anyways, that pissed me off with them news people. Bro, somebody is dealing with the death of their child or whatever title it is, you know what I'm saying? Somebody dealing with death of a family member, bro. You got the nerve to be trying to talk to somebody and put their ass on TV right now. Niggas, you crazy? Don't bring that shit to my door, bro. Real life. I can't deal with that type of stuff. Like, I really cuss out the news. Y'all want some entertainment and some clips? Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. But the stuff I'm gonna do, though, gonna make y'all walk off for real. And I'm gonna chase you. You know what I'm saying? And make it look good then and then post that. Because, bro, let people get their space, bro. This is real life. You feel me? Because if shoes on the other foot, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't know how to deal. But y'all know your thoughts down below. Be sure to like the video, comment below, subscribe to your boy, hit the catch your boy fan. Janice. Also, you got videos like some reaction. Let me know in the comment section down below. Or get me on social media, man. This boy Drill. Boom.